No one expected this. Filipino boy leaves act shaking. When 12-year-old Mateo Santos stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage, the audience barely noticed him at first. His shirt was a little too big, his sneakers a little too worn, and his nervous smile trembled like a candle in the wind. But something in his eyes, quiet, steady, determined, held a question the world didn't yet know it needed to answer. Mateo clutched the microphone as if it were the only solid thing anchoring him to the moment. When Simon asked where he was from, Mateo replied softly, "From a small island in the Philippines, where sometimes the power goes out. So I practice singing under the stars." A few people chuckled kindly, but with the assumption that this boy, small and unassuming, was simply another sweet audition waiting to fade into the night. But backstage, his mother watched with trembling hands. She had worked 3 jobs just to save enough for the trip. And Mateo, though still a child, carried a weight no 12-year-old should. He had promised his younger sister, Lucia, who had been diagnosed with a rare heart condition, that he would find a way to help her. "If my singing can make people feel something," he had told her, "maybe it can make miracles too." The lights dimmed. Mateo inhaled. And then something unexpected happened, not the kind of shock that erupts from fireworks, but the kind that rises from stillness, slow and powerful, like the sun breaking open after a storm. He began to sing. The first note was fragile. A whisper carried on hope. But the second shook the room. It was pure, soaring, impossibly emotional, like he was pouring every wish he'd ever made into each breath. The entire theater went silent, as if everyone had collectively forgotten how to breathe. His voice wrapped itself around the lyrics, trembling with longing, strength, and something deeper, love that refused to give up. Halfway through the song, something unexpected happened. Mateo suddenly stopped singing. The crowd gasped. Even the judges leaned forward, confused. But then, with trembling hands, Mateo placed the microphone down. I'm sorry," he said. "I need to say something first." The judges blinked. The audience shifted in their seats. "My sister Lucia, she's 9. She loves music more than anyone. She said that if I got to sing here, it would feel like she was standing right next to me. And I felt her. I really did. But I don't want to finish this song unless she can hear with all of you." His voice cracked, but not from fear. This was a boy showing the world that courage didn't always roar. Sometimes it spoke softly, for love. The audience was already misty-eyed, but Mateo wasn't done. "So, can we all send her a message? Just one thing." Could everyone here shout, "We love you, Lucia," so she knows she's not alone? For a moment, the world stood still. Then the entire theater erupted, thousands of voices rising like a tidal wave of kindness. "We love you, Lucia." Backstage, Mateo's mother broke into sobs. The sound traveled through the auditorium, through the cameras, through every person watching at home. It was no longer just an audition, it was a global heartbeat. Mateo picked up the microphone again, and when he sang the final half of the song, he sang it with an emotion so raw it made the judges reach for tissues. His voice cracked, soared, broke apart, and rebuilt itself in real time. It was not perfect, but it was honest, and that honesty carried a power no technical profession could match. When he finished, the room exploded into applause. Simon stood first. "I don't know what just happened," he said, voice uncharacteristically shaky, but it wasn't just a performance. It was a reminder of why we're all here, to feel something real. He reached for the golden buzzer. The other judges didn't argue. They didn't breathe. They simply watched as Simon pressed the button. Confetti rained down like a blessing. Mateo stood frozen, disbelief spreading across his face before he broke into a grin so bright it could have lit the stage on its own. When his mother and Lucia, who had been watching from the Philippines via a live video call, appeared on the screen, Mateo dropped to his knees in tears. Backstage footage later revealed Lucia whispering through the screen, "Kuya, you did it. Not for you. For us." The clip went viral within hours. Not because of the golden buzzer, or the high notes, or the tears, but because a young boy reminded the world that kindness is contagious, that courage often wears the face of love, that sometimes the most powerful moments are born from the simplest truth. We rise when we lift others. And as millions watched Mateo hug the judges, the confetti still falling, like tiny miracles around him, they felt an unexpected shift. Inside themselves, the reminder that humanity, at its best, shines not in grand displays, but in small, selfless acts of heart. Because no one expected it, not the judges, not the audience, not the world, but a Filipino boy walked onto the AGT stage and left everyone shaking, reminded once more of the extraordinary power of compassion. And that, perhaps, is the most beautiful performance of all.